Okay, I think we're about 2 weeks into the Tour de France 2027 at the moment, and we're doing pretty good. With only 6 stages left, we're in 4th place in GC with Ivan Romeo on 4 minutes of Tadej Pogacar. And despite being just 3 seconds behind Jonas, I don't think a podium is realistic. So instead, I'm hunting for the white jersey, which we have by 2 minutes 18 on Martinez, but this won't be easy either because Martinez is a better climber. So I think it's really important that we go in the breakaway on stage 16, which looks like a mountain breakaway stage, and take time on Martinez, because well, stage 17 and 18 look like horrible mountain stages, so I kind of expect to lose time there. Then again, on stage 20 there's a 30-kilometer time trial where we can take time again with Romeo on Martinez. Anyway, I think this third week is gonna be challenging but fun. Now, I said I wanted to go in the breakaway on stage 16 with Ivan Romeo to take time on Martinez, but the stage starts with a downhill and it's really difficult to create a breakaway on a downhill section, so I think I'll try to keep the peloton together until the start of the first climb and then attack. So yeah, let's find out if that works. So the stage is on, but instead of attacking from the get-go, I've got Alvarez pacing on 85 to try and keep the breakaway from forming. Okay, there come the first attacks in the peloton by Mathieu van der Poel, Paul Sixas and Jai Hindley, but Alvarez is doing pretty well at controlling it. Lots of riders attacking and a group is forming, but it's only 30 seconds, so that's fine. I can jump towards that if necessary. Okay, the climb is about to begin. The gap is about a minute, so it's controllable. Watson is ready to launch with 3 climbers in the wheel once the gradients go up, and that is happening as we speak, so let's move. Kubish out of the way, 4 riders into the attack, and we're gone. Let's bridge. Our gap is now expanding on the peloton by a little bit, but we're also not getting closer to the front of the race, so we're kind of stuck in a chasse patate. That said, we are dropping riders though from the original breakaway, and we're only 30 seconds behind the front of the race now, so it's looking better. Okay, now in the valley after the first climb, and we are in the breakaway, but it's only 4 riders: Castillo, Ryan, Arieta and Romeo, then a gap towards Paul Sixas, who will come back, I think. Then 3 riders with Van Eetveld, Jai Hindley and Madouas, but the peloton is right behind, and oh my god, I'm pacing in the peloton. This is so incredibly stupid. Ay ay ay. I think we should pretend we did not see that. Now on the second climb of the day, the Col de la Cor, but we have been caught by the peloton, so breakaway over. There we go again, I guess, with Igor Arieta into the breakaway, and immediately a 40-second gap, so I'm not complaining. There goes Riccitello, also chasing behind us, and also Enric Mas, so some proper climbers. And sadly, just before the top, we are getting dropped as we speak by both Riccitello and Mas, but I think I can come back in the downhill. With about 45 kilometers to go, the break is now these 3 riders, Riccitello, Mas and Arieta, but the gap to the peloton is only 2 minutes, so I don't think this break is going anywhere. Riccitello attacks towards the top and the other 2 riders are about to get caught by the peloton. We are in that peloton setting a bit of a tempo because we might as well try something, no? Let's get Omerzel and Romeo to the front of the group, and I don't think I can attack with 30 kilometers to go right now, but I might as well do it. YOLO. There goes Omerzel and Romeo over the top. Romeo's not even in your wheel, buddy, so this is not working. Let's go downhill on 90 and see what it does, but I don't think it's doing anything. Yeah, that attack by Romeo went nowhere, so we're literally sitting in the peloton waiting for a sprint against Miss Pedersen is still here. That said, the sprint is slightly uphill, so we gotta keep that in mind. Last 2.5 kilometers, lead out by Omerzel on 95, Romeo's in the wheel. We're not looking too fantastic energy-wise, but we have to try anyway. 99 on Omerzel, launch right now. Romeo in the wheel is gonna launch really late, but it's the only thing I can do. We're gonna finish in the top 10, but it's gonna be a victory for Marcellucci on Tudor. That's mad. In the end, Ivan Romeo finishes 9th on the stage, and our goal was taking time on Lenny Martinez, and that actually did happen. 15 seconds, let's go! Now, on a serious note, 2 minutes 33 on Martinez still probably won't be enough to defend that white jersey against him in the next 2 stages, so today's stage was a failure. By the way, today's video is sponsored by NordVPN. As a cycling fan, it's becoming harder by the day to find a live broadcast for every race, especially when some might not even be available in your country. NordVPN helps you protect your online privacy by masking your IP address pretending to be somewhere else, for example, in a different country. Without diving into too much detail, a VPN can be a very powerful tool for a cycling fan. Anyway, if you want to try NordVPN, you can get 70% off a 2-year subscription or 55% on a 1-year subscription through the link below. Because, well, stage 17 is to Col de Portet with 2 attrition climbs before that, but I gotta say, we're looking pretty bad for this unless we go in the breakaway. Because if Romeo stays in the peloton, his 74 mountain stats simply won't be enough. Anyway, let's pray for a breakaway stage. Wow, starting off with a -1 on Alvarez, that is the opposite of what I wanted, but straight into the breakaway we go. Romeo, buddy, get into the wheel, buddy. What is your problem? And Schwarzbacher, what are you doing? You're trying to protect Romeo? Okay, this is not going perfect, but the rest of my team can sit towards the front of the peloton and we'll kick it off again and hope that the breakaway is forming. Are there gaps? Yes, indeed. Gotta say, this is absolute chaos. 4 riders of ours in the front group now, including Watson and Omerzel as well. Alvarez is back in the peloton, but is trying to position Arrieta and Lopez to also make the jump if we can. I think it's too early. We need a bigger gap first. Otherwise, I'm basically bringing back the peloton to the breakaway, which I don't want. There we go, 40 seconds. Is that the moment? I think it is. On the left side of the road, we attack with Alvarez and 3 of our teammates. Absolute perfection now. 99 pacing to the breakaway and make the bridge. So it cost us quite a few riders, including Alvarez, Kubish, and Lopez, but the rest of our team has made it to the breakaway. Yes, indeed. 36 riders, so a massive breakaway, and the gap to the peloton is literally 5 minutes and a half, so that's fantastic. Next to Molano, Lund Andresen in the peloton for UAE is almost done for, so we're flying through their domestiques, and the gap is now 6 minutes and 10, but the fast of 3 climbs is about to start. Okay, the climb has begun. The Col de Peresurde 13.5k at 6.8%, and Schwarzbacher is done for, so it's Watson, so we've worked through our rouleur domestiques on the flat, which is perfect. Now, Arrieta, Omerzel, and Romeo are left, but Romeo with his -1 is looking so incredibly bad. Lots of riders dropping though. Godu, Butrago, Tiberi, Brenner, Mühlberger. We are holding on as we speak, so that is good. Lipovic is off the back, and so are we, but I'm trying to set my own tempo towards the top here to not completely implode. Arrieta is done for, so it's down to Omerzel to protect Romeo right now, but Omerzel is in so much better form here. We're still passing riders. Widar, G, also Van Eetveld, but we're losing ground to the front group, which I don't necessarily like, but let's try and get over the top together with Omerzel here. Ah shit, out of energy with 300 meters to go over the top, but now we can get into the wheel of Omerzel and he can try and bring us back. Gotta say, it's looking pretty bad. The Col de Valorant-Azay is about to start and Romeo did not recover in that downhill, so I don't know how we're gonna keep the, right now, 8 minutes on the peloton, so that's a good gap, but how are we gonna keep it without energy? Come on, Romeo, keep on pedaling. 3k to the top, and the peloton, our favorites group, is only 2 minutes behind now, and Visma is pacing. Honestly, I think we're getting caught on this climb. Actually, maybe not, because the peloton is stalling right behind us, and we are crossing the top with a gap of 20 seconds now. But I'm literally putting myself on 25 maintain position with Romeo to try and focus on recovering energy. And of course, because of that, we are getting caught by the peloton group, including Martinez. So yeah, the final climb is about to begin. 16 kilometers at 8.7%, so I think this will not end well because my energy, despite recovering, is not actually high. There comes the attack by Lenny Martinez, exactly what I did not want to happen, but hopefully he somehow overextends. And also a split in the group right now. Movistar is in our part, but Visma and Pogacar are trying to catch Martinez. Honestly, everything is falling apart as we speak. Romeo's energy is nowhere and we're dropping so far back because we have to do our own tempo on this climb. Lots of riders are dropping, like that is happening, but Lenny Martinez is literally 4 minutes 30 up the road, so he's in the white jersey now. And with 9 kilometers to go on the climb, my yellow bar is completely gone, so I'm going 60 right now, but we're gonna lose 10 plus minutes. This is the worst possible scenario. By the way, every single rider from the breakaway has been caught. It's now between Jonas Vingegaard, Lenny Martinez, Pogacar, Pare Pantre and Almeida, but these two are collapsing. Pogacar is making move on the right side of the road, and I think he's about to drop these guys. In the last 1.3 kilometers, Pogacar is leading and he drops Jonas Vingegaard and is riding to the victory on Col de Portet Just like in real life? Yes, just like in real life, he wins on top. By the way, you know who's not winning today? It's Ivan Romeo on 10 minutes on the road right now. He's literally getting dropped by Omerzel, who's not even trying. Come on, Romeo. Pedal! It's not that difficult. The top is right there, bro. Losing 16 minutes. What the f? My man was literally pedaling backwards. What an absolute disaster of a stage this was. That might just be the worst outcome to a Pro Cycling Manager stage I've ever had. 49th on 16 minutes is insane. Wait, what? Somehow, I'm still in the top 10 of GC, in 8th place, so I'm not complaining. But I am complaining about this one. We lose our white jersey and it's 13 minutes now the gap, so we're not catching Lenny Martinez. So yeah, the rest of this race is all about securing that top 10 in GC. I don't know how, but somehow. Wow, stage 18 is a double mountain stage with the Col du Tourmalet and Luzardiden, but 129 kilometers is so short that I don't see the breakaway winning. Like with 74 mountain, Romeo will undoubtedly lose time, but I think I'll do it from the peloton, try and stay close to the top 10 in GC after this stage, so I can get back into the top 10 with the upcoming time trial. Honestly, I think we will need a lot of luck to make this happen. Honestly, I might be changing my mind. What if I do go in the breakaway? So we're starting off with Romeo on a 0 day with 74 mountain stat, but Omerzel, Arieta and Lopez are looking pretty fantastic. I'm expecting immediate attacks from the peloton, but I think I'll wait to make my move until I see a proper breakaway go. Okay, that right there is what I would call a proper breakaway, so let's get ourselves ready and launch right now with Alvarez and Romeo, the first two guys into the breakaway. And actually, on this climb, I'll try to bridge with Arieta and Omerzel towards their wheel, which should be quite easy, so there we go. Honestly, we did not spend too much energy and we are in a breakaway of 39 riders up the road, so I think this was the right decision, but the break keeps attacking each other, so that's not great. So wait, in the peloton, UAE is pacing with Molano and Barret, and if I go into the breakaway and exactly to the front, then we see Joao Almeida pacing. What is UAE doing? Gotta say, the Tourmalet is about to begin, 13.8k at 8.3%, but the race is super confusing and quite challenging because Riccitello's off the back, which is great, Almeida off the back, which is great, two competitors for Romeo in GC, but Romeo himself, look at his yellow bar at the start of the Tourmalet. It's looking pretty bad. If anything, we're lucky the peloton is crawling up this climb right now, 11 minutes behind, but we still gotta survive with Romeo somehow. Just about 3k from the top, and Romeo is not looking glorious at the moment, off the back of the bigger breakaway group right here, but doing my own tempo. Right at the front, we've got Tiberi with 3 minutes on that larger breakaway group, but behind Romeo, it's still 11 minutes to the peloton, so we're looking solid. Out of yellow bar in the last kilometer right now, but catching up with Lipovic and so forth. So let's stay in this group in the downhill and let's try and recover on 25-ish maintain position. And the peloton is crossing the top of the Tourmalet 12 minutes and 26 seconds behind. So we've still got a solid gap and we are recovering yellow bar this time, which is nice. Okay then, on to the final climb, Luz Ardiden, 1 minute behind the second breakaway group where Tiberi is still riding alone and somehow Niels Pollitt is attacking behind that, but I'm doing my tempo in the group behind on 75-ish. And 12 minutes later, the peloton is also starting the final climb with Kampenaert spacing for Jonas Vingegaard, but it's not exactly the most excruciating tempo. Oh snap, attack in the peloton by Jonas Vingegaard up to his teammate Richard Carapaz, and Lenny Martinez is closing it down with Pogacar in the wheel, and Martinez attacks across to Vingegaard. At the front of the race, lots of riders have already finished, but it's now Romeo in the final kilometer with Omerzel still protecting, and what a fantastic ride by Omerzel these last few days, finishing right now with the two of them with actually a little bit of energy left, so not optimized, but a proper amount of minutes in front of the GC riders. A pretty fantastic victory by Tiberi, attacking on the Tourmalet, making it to the final climb, and still surviving by 2 minutes on Niels Pollitt? How did he do that? But our man, Ivan Romeo in 20th place, finished about 6 minutes and 30 seconds ahead of Vingegaard. And Jonas actually gained some time on Pogacar in GC. But of course, Tadej Pogacar was already 5 minutes into the yellow jersey, so he will win this Tour de France 2027. But I think I'm feeling pretty good about this specific stage, because while Romeo loses a position to Jai Hindley in GC, we are so close to Jai Hindley and Sivakov that I might be able to pass them in the time trial. Sadly, Sadly though, while we do take 7 minutes on Lenny Martinez on this specific stage, there is no way I can get back to him in a 30k TT. The gap is still 5 minutes. So I don't think I can win the white jersey, but I think I can top 7 the Tour de France. Which, hey, that's a fine outcome. Anyway, time to calm down. It's time for a sprint stage, which we're not exactly that great at. Jonathan Milan with 84 sprint stat is the favorite, and our man is Lukas Kubic with 75 sprint. So yeah, I'll try my best. In the last 8 kilometers of this sprint stage, and my team is well positioned with Romeo also in the wheel just to keep him in a good position. We are sprinting for Lukas Kubic. And actually, I'm working with Romeo right now because I'm running out of teammates. So there goes Watson in the wheel of Romeo right now. Kubic is looking good with 1 kilometer to go. Come on, man. No red bar. Absolutely no red bars. So we're about to get destroyed here by Olaf Koy, and on the right, Madis Mikkels, who's gonna win this stage in Libourne. What a shocking victory. Anyway, we finished just outside of the top 10, actually 16th. That is quite a disappointing result, but I also wasn't expecting too much in a sprint stage. I'm honestly way more invested into stage 20, a 30-kilometer time trial where we could move up to the top 7 in GC. With our 77 time trial stat on Ivan Romeo, we gotta take 10 seconds on Jai Hindley with 72 time trial and a minute on Pavel Sivakov with 73 time trials. So I think we can do this. One thing is certain, I don't think we'll win the time trial because Philippe Ogana, Evenepoel and Tarling are here. Anyway, let's jump in and go for that 7th place. Now, before we get to Romeo, I do want to talk about our GC result in this Tour de France. If we can get 7th, is that worth it for our team? The answer is yes. Last season, Ivan Romeo finished 14th in GC of the Tour de France, so if we finish 7th, that's a massive improvement. Okay, it's time to begin. Ivan Romeo with not the greatest day in the world, a 0 day, so 77 time trial. Starting off on 85 effort, quite aggressive, but I think it's the right choice. There comes the first time check, let's take a look. Romeo 4th time. And Jai Hindley was 45 seconds slower than us at the first time check, so he's gone. Meanwhile, Sivakov 24 seconds slower, so still got a bit of work to do. There is the second time check for Ivan Romeo, and once again, no, first place. 3 seconds ahead of Ghana. Honestly, I was not expecting that. And on top of that, on our way to pass Florian Lipovic with 75 time trial stats, so Romeo is cooking. Last kilometer as we speak, yellow bar is gone, now it's down to the red bar, but we are going well on 87 right now, 99 in the final stretch. There we go, and we are first place. What? But Remco Evenepoel is still to come. By the way, Jai Hindley still has like 3 kilometers to go and was 3 minutes back at the second time check, so this is definitely not happening for him. We're at least 8th in GC. And actually, Sivakov was also 2 minutes back at the second time check, so we're 7th in GC. Yes. The big question is, can we beat Remco Evenepoel and win this time trial? Because at the second time check, we were ahead of him. Remco Evenepoel in the last stretch, let's take a look, crossing the line, and he's 3rd place, so Ivan Romeo wins the stage. Oh la 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 la, what a victory. There is our man on the podium in that Spanish NC jersey by 3 seconds on Ghana and 11 seconds on Remco Evenepoel. And as we expected, Ivan Romeo moves up from 9th place to 7th place in GC, only 2 minutes now behind Fisher Black in 6th, but this was the final GC stage, which means that this will be our final position in this Tour de France, 7th place, and I'm pretty happy with that. But actually, Remco came pretty close to winning this Tour de France, 36 seconds only behind Tadej Pogacar. But importantly, I'm very happy that I win another stage at this Tour de France, being a time trial with Romeo, because I did not expect to win this TT. Anyway, that brings us to the final stage of this Tour de France, the Paris-Champs-Élysées without Montmartre, so a sprint stage. And of course, with 75 sprint stat on Kubic, I'm not too confident. By the way, heads up, after this final stage, this video is not over because I'll jump into transfers after this and I honestly can't wait. Our train is trying to position on the right side of the road with Kubic obviously as our sprinter with a +1 on the day, so 75 sprint stat, but I'm not exactly in the perfect position yet, so we gotta move up. There we go, last 6 kilometers out of the tunnel goes Arieta as we speak, but the rest of my train is not in the wheel, so I gotta slow down for a second to get back to the wheel. And a Gigel on Kubic at the right time. Come on, team. Schwarzbacher, you have to move now because we've got way too many riders here, but that's fine on this specific stage. 3.5 kilometers to go in a decent position, I would say. Alvarez is ready as well pretty soon. Let's Launch right now with Alvarez Watson in the wheel, Kubic in that wheel. Come on, come true, come true. We're getting blocked in, we're getting blocked in. There goes Watson. Kubic is ready to launch as well. Right now with 800 meters to go, but Jonathan Milan's gonna win, or Kubic is trying to come around, but it's gonna be a second place on the Paris Champs-Élysées without a finish line, but I'll take it. That's a nice win. Correction, that's not a win. That's a nice second place. Okay, Jonathan Milan's feet are stuck within the podium, but that aside, Lukasz Kubic coming second here is an amazing result. But stage to the side, the winner of this Tour de France 2027 is Tadej Pogačar by a mere 36 seconds on Remco Evenepoel, but my man Ivan Romeo in 7th place. That is nice. And sadly, the white jersey did not go to Ivan Romeo. We're on 1 minute 47 of the winner of that jersey, Lenny Martinez, but Martinez deserved it. We were worse. But I think it's fair to say that a 7th place in GC plus 2 stage wins on the stage 20 time trial and stage 1 as well with Watson, that's a pretty fantastic Tour de France for Dacia Siroko. And of course, thanks to our first stage win, we have our sponsor objective of winning a stage at this tour, so the sponsor is happy as well. Also, unlike last season, we don't need to think about the UCI World Tour ranking because, well, we're in 5th place, so that's fantastic. Now, results to the side, I do want to talk about a certain topic, which is the GC riders in our team, because Lorenzo Fin at the Giro and Romeo at the Tour de France were simply not competitive for a top 5 nor a podium in GC. But I've got some good news. Lorenzo Fin has finally improved. 78 mountain stat, 79 medium mountain, 78 hill stat, but only 70 time trial. I think that's enough to compete for a top 5 at a Grand Tour, but I kinda wanna compete for a podium, you know, so he better keep growing. That said, I've had many comments under the last few videos asking me to sign another GC rider, but reality is, I simply don't have the money. Nonetheless, as you can see on the right top of the screen, it is July 27th as we speak, so transfer season is coming, so let's take a look if something is possible. Actually, before I start looking at riders to sign, I want to bring you to this screen, the sponsor screen, because our sponsors were Dacia, Siroko, and For Endurance, but now they are Dacia, Siroko, and Morton, and I need to talk about that. Now, to explain why For Endurance was replaced with Morton as a sponsor for my PCM team, I need to give you a behind the scenes of my YouTube channel. For many years, For Endurance was my personal nutrition sponsor on this YouTube channel, but Morton became the nutrition sponsor of our podcast, the Lantern Rouge Cycling Podcast, so it was a bit of a conflict. Honestly, I felt a bit weird about promoting 2 different competing nutrition brands on 2 different platforms, so I decided to stop my personal partnership with For Endurance so that the podcast could continue with Morton. I feel like that was the fairest thing for me to do towards you guys, but also towards Morton. It would be weird if I still have For Endurance on my PCM team, so that's why they were replaced here. Anyway, Morton as an in-game sponsor is the exact same budget as For Endurance had for my team here, but different squad demands and a different jersey. You can see a small preview of our jersey on the left bottom, but you'll see it properly in our next race. On the right side of our screen, you can see that Morton has only 1 squad demand, 30% young riders, so that's quite intriguing. No nationality-based squad demand because, let's be honest, Sweden, a bit dire when it comes to the talent pool. Anyway, that was important context for the upcoming transfer segment, so now it's time to take a look at riders. One thing is certain, I don't think I'll sign Oyer Lascano. If anything, I'll probably remove him from this save file after this episode. Now, I am quite intrigued by Pablo Castrillo with 79 mountain, 78 medium mountain, 75 hill stat, 74 time trial, but I'm not sure I can afford him. Already on a salary of 23k per month, so do that times 12, that's more than 250k a year. Actually, I was under the impression that I don't have that much money, but that's not true. As you can see, our remaining budget for 2028 is 1.3 million, so I can afford Pablo Castrillo. Okay, never mind. Suddenly he wants 52k per month instead of 20k, so I'm not sure I can afford that. I think there's no way he'll accept this, but I'll try with 30k per month instead of 50. And he's not happy, of course. Can I seduce him with 36k instead? No. I don't think I want to spend more than 35k on Castrillo, so for now, I'll put him to the side. Instead, I'll start by signing riders that I definitely want, for example, Tomasz Kopecky to join his brother. 73 hill stat, 75 cobble stat, a pretty solid rider as a domestique and a cobble rider, so let's sign him. Looks like he wants 8.4k, but let's try 7.4k instead. That's not enough. 8.4k it is, I guess. No, it's not. 8.9k? Yes, there we go. Tomasz Kopecki is joining our team. I think I want to sign some more support for the cobble races in Sebastian Grindley on the Cyanide team, which I think is a fictitious sponsor. 76 sprint stats, 75 flat stat, and 72 cobble at the age of 21 with some more growth possible. I think that's worth it. Okay, whoa, 9.2k, that's more than I expected, so let's do 5.73 years, and he's not happy, of course. 7.2k, is that enough? Oh my god, this guy wants a lot of money. I don't want to give too much more than 8.7k, but he's still not happy. Honestly, I don't think that's worth it.
1 week later.
Honestly, I've been going through the transfer list for the last half an hour, and Pablo Castrillo is truly the one GC guy that I can afford, so I think I have to do it. The question is, how much do I need to offer him for him to be happy? It has to be like 50k, but 53k is half our transfer budget, so I don't like doing this. Let's click offer. And he doesn't even want to do it, so this dude wanted like 70k. I'm glad you don't come to my team, Pablo Castrillo, you gold digger. Anyway, it's time to sign a rider for the Tour of Flanders that hopefully does want to come to our team, Antonio Morgado. In real life, massive issues with positioning, but on Pro Cycling Manager, that's not the case. So 78 hill stat, 76 medium mountain, decent flat stat, 77 cobble. I like it. Oh la 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 la, 21.6k only, I'll offer it. It's not enough, but 25-24 will do. No, not yet. 25.6? There we go. Antonio Morgado is joining our team. That is a massive catch for our cobble team. Next to Morgado, I also want to sign a pure sprinter, but on the market there's not that many good ones available, and the ones that are, Matthew Brennan for example, simply doesn't want to sign with me. That said, on the left side of the screen, Paul Magnier is interested, 100% interest with 76 sprint stat only, 81 acceleration though, but very versatile. With 70 mountain stats, 74 medium mountain, 77 hill stat and 73 cobble, that's a monster rider on many versatile terrains including cobbles and also Milano-San Remo. But I hope he's as affordable as Morgado. Okay, good news, that is the case. 20.4k per month. He's not happy yet, but I think with 23.4k, 24.4k? There we go. Paul Magnier is joining our team. And actually, looking at our current squad, Paul Magnier and Morgado are suddenly our two best riders. Next up, I want to sign some more Spanish riders. For example, Pau Marti, 74 mountains, 76 medium mountains, 75 hills, so proper mountain domestique. And of course, for 8.4k per month, that is definitely worth it, and he does it, so that's great. I'm looking through the other potential Spanish domestiques, but their secondary stats are actually not that great. Except for riders like Carlos Verona, but he's 34 years old, so that's not worth it either. On the left, Raul Garcia Pierna is a bit better when it comes to his secondaries, but his primary stats are then worse. But with 74 medium mountain and a time trial stat, I might sign him for the smaller 1 week races. Okay, I was expecting more than 3.6k per month. Yes, he does want a bit more, but maybe 4.1k should be enough. Yes, indeed. Raul Garcia Pierna, also known as Patrick Bro's favorite rider, is ours. I know I was considering getting Mateusz Govikar back to our team because, well, we've got a history, but 75 hill stats, 74 sprint, we've already got multiple riders like that, so I don't think it's worth it. I am intrigued by the idea of signing Jack Ward as a climby puncher from Australia for the Australian NCs. 76 medium mountain and hill stat and also acceleration, so quite punchy. Maybe a 2-year contract at 7.8k, but that is not enough, so let's make it 8.8k and hope for the best. Nah, this is getting quite expensive. Sorry Jack, but this is not happening. Ooh, Ben Felix Jochum, who are you? 70 hill stats, 70 sprints, 70 cobble stats, 71 time trials, 75 flat stat? Pretty solid for a lead out. I'm sorry, but 8.8k per month for a Neo Pro? What are these prices? I'm sorry, but Jochum is not worth 100k per year for me, so this inflation is off the charts. A Belgian 20-year-old Jeff Loos with 77 mountain stat, but his medium mountain and hill stat are below 70. It's odd, but I like it. Especially 6-star potential in stage races and climber. Wow, 11.6k per month. Come on, this is insane. I'll give you important rider for 3 years at 10.6k, but that's nowhere near enough. Let's try 12.6k, but again, not enough. I don't think I want to do it then, because this series probably won't last long enough for Jeff Loos to come to his full potential. By the way, importantly, right now we've got 25 riders in our team and about 300k left to spend on riders. Oh shit, I just noticed that in our scouting we've got a rider called Jerai Planas with 71 prologue, 70 downhill, but he might have 5-star potential, but it's not certain yet. Considering he's gonna be super cheap, I'm willing to take that gamble. 2.5k per month, 3 years, teammate, there we go, and he's in our team. Let's hope he's pretty good. Mathis Grisel would be a really good signing for Paris-Roubaix with 80 cobble stat at the age of 22, but the rest of his stats are not that fantastic. But I still think with 5.5-star potential in Northern Classics, he's definitely worth signing. Say what? 30k per month, dude? That is not happening. I guess we continue our quest looking for riders that we can afford. Alessio Magagnotti, a sprinter on Red Bull Bora in real life, 75 sprint stats, 78 acceleration, 5-star potential in sprinting at the age of 20 years old, so hopefully affordable. 7.2k, what if we do 3 years as a sprinter? Can I go cheaper at 6.7? No, I can't, so it's gonna be probably 7.7. No, it's gonna be 8.7. No, it's gonna be 9.2. Is that worth it? Honestly, at this point, I think I'll do it. There we go. By the way, I may have completely forgotten that we have Zach Edison with 76 sprint, 79 acceleration as a pure sprinter, but hey, not a big deal. Oh my god, who are you? Shangton Zheng. This guy has 4 potential, 75 medium mountain, 70 sprint stats, 77 acceleration, a rider from China. Like, I know he's got a broken wrist, but I still think for 2.5k per month, having a Chinese rider with these stats could be a national champion. And he's literally 2.5k per month, maybe not a 3-year contract, but a 2-year contract, why not? And actually, you can see at the top, he is the national champion, so we just bought the national champion of China. But this man on the left of the screen, Tilman Sarnowski of the Red Bull Rookies, had 77 sprint stat, 78 acceleration as a pure sprinter, but more importantly, 5.5-star sprinter potential, so despite already having too many sprinters, it might be worth a gamble if he's cheap. Okay, he is not cheap, 16k, that's not happening. I guess I could just sign Marcel Kamprubi as another domestique for the team with 76 medium mountain, 77 stamina, so decent secondaries. And for 3k per month, that's definitely a worthy signing. Vicente Rojas, who are you, my friend? 25 years old from Chile, 75 mountain, 74 medium mountain, and just 3.2k per month, so there we go. Can we sign him? No, it's gonna be 4.2k, I reckon, yes. I know those last 2 signings were not that special, but our money is now completely gone, and we've got 30 riders in our squad for next year, so that's perfect. With of course Antonio Morgado and Paul Magnier as the big name signings, with solid mountain domestiques in Paul Marti and Raul Garcia Pierna, and also Vicente Rojas, and a cobble edition in Tomasz Kopecki, and a talented sprinter in Alessio Magagnotti. And then there's Marcel Kamprubi and also Zheng, who are both like medium mountain domestiques. And yeah, last one, Jerai Planas, 71 prologue as an 18-year-old, but he could be worthless. And I do think that's a very good transfer season for our team, especially strengthening our cobble team. And yeah, I tried to sign another GC rider, but we simply couldn't afford to do so, so Lorenzo Finn will be our man for the Grand Tours next year. But also for the Vuelta, and that starts in the next episode. Anyway, that is for next time. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye!